Hi, and welcome back to the Unicorn Ventures Startup Acceleration process. We're now going to be talking about a sub-process or the next step, which is known as the content distribution process. So this assumes after creating the evergreen content, what do we go about doing with that content and how do we get it out into the hands of our potential users and clients? So the table of contents, we always start with the startup acceleration process to understand where we are in regards to that process. Then we're going to be asking the question, why content distribution, the content distribution process, email, social media, and the sales force. So in terms of the startup acceleration process, once again, we're starting out with the organization or starting out with organizing, vision, values, and virtues, market model, platform, evergreen content, content distribution, what we're going to be talking about today, the domain authority process, product market fit test, list development and customer interviews, customer development, team, and financing. So why do we do content distribution? So now that we've actually created all this evergreen content, we have to get it in the hands of our potential users and paying users. So we do that through content distribution strategies or channels. The channels that we're going to be talking about are going to be email, social media, as well as the sales force. And we're going to be relying on those three as the primary channels within which to reach our potential clients. So in terms of the content distribution process, just like we talked about, these are the different channels that we're going to be using: email, social media, and a sales force to actually go about, doing this content distribution. So with regard to email, we have a certain market model that we've already gotten into, and there's going to be a database related to that individual market model, whether we're dealing with consumers, prosumers, which are professional consumers, SMB, mid-market, and national. And then we're going to just be reaching out to begin a conversation, opening a sales cycle, and that's going to be related to our sales force. We're going to talk about that. So in terms of social media, what we're really talking about there is using these different existing platforms and networks to build connections, to facilitate individual page likes, and then flow them into a group where we can actually do customer interviews and client customer development there. So the big ones we're going to be focusing on are LinkedIn, the prosumers there and the SMBs, as well as other potential, larger level clients. Facebook connections, page group. There's a flow that we're going to be talking about as we get into the customer interviews and customer development model with regard to those different platforms. What are the sort of functionality and the flow to the funnel there? And then having a YouTube page. So turning our content into actual videos is going to be helpful as well to be able to promote that and do that as well. And then lastly, using Twitter. So we can use these different social media platforms to make connections, get page likes and follows, flow that into a group, and do content distribution in that manner. So in terms of the last kind of channel that we're going to be using, the sales force, these are going to be individual, either community managers, SDRs, or account executives that we're going to be utilizing in order to do emails and open calls via the phone. And this could be something as simple as just friending and connecting with people on social media. This is oftentimes a precursor to the actual customer interviews and customer development that actually occurs, but it's very, very valuable because it's when you're working backwards from a paying user to a group member to a page follower to an actual connection. There's a flow there, and that's the beginning. And that can turn into invites to a page or to a group. So this is overall, we've been talking about the content distribution process or the channels within which we're going to be reaching and pushing out our content within the startup acceleration process. So go ahead and go to unicornventures.org and register. We look forward to having a conversation with you.